Welcome to the Magnify Your Miracles podcast. Get ready to be inspired, uplifted, and connected to the miraculous energy of unconditional love that I call Mother Mary. If you're a highly sensitive, highly creative entrepreneur or light worker, and you want to magnify your impact and your intuition, you are in the right place. I'm your host, Reverend Frances Faden, interfaith minister, intuitive coach, and author of Meditation is Friendship with God. I can't wait to share miraculous stories, books, meditations, messages, and interviews with other miraculous light workers just like you. Are you ready to magnify your miracles? What are we waiting for? Let's get started. Hello, my miraculous friend, and welcome to another episode of the Magnify Your Miracles podcast. This is Reverend Frances Faden, and I am so grateful that we get to spend this time together helping you magnify your miracles. Today, I want to share a book with you that truly has the ability to create a healing miracle for you. It's definitely done that for me. And this book is actually by the guest that I had last week. So if you were listening to last week's episode with Dr. Brooke Goldner, she's the author of this book called Goodbye Autoimmune Disease: How to Prevent and Reverse Chronic Illness and Inflammatory Symptoms Using Supermarket Foods. And for those of you who've been following the podcast, you know that I love to do a book review, and then the following week, I like to have the author join us. But I really wanted to get Dr. Goldner's interview out first, because I wanted to give you an opportunity for those of you who wanted to do her rapid recovery program. She's going to be offering the last one in October of 2024 for the year of 24. You can start again, I think in January, she'll probably be starting the next one. But for those who are dealing with conditions, I wanted you to have the opportunity to get this information ASAP. So I'm doing it a little bit backwards this time, but I wanted to do a review of this book because it's so important. And Dr. Goldner has written 2 books. Well, she's actually written 3. One's a recipe book, but the first one is Goodbye Lupus, which details how she went through this process and developed this protocol, this 6-step protocol to help her heal and reverse lupus. And this book that I'm sharing with you, the Goodbye Autoimmune Disease book, it doesn't go over just the specifics of that protocol. It talks about it in the beginning, but it goes a lot into the emotional piece. And that's why I wanted to talk about this with you, because I know from working with people, as an energy coach and the work that I do, how much the emotions affect and impact everything, especially for highly sensitive people, especially for highly creative people, especially for women. It's really important for you to understand and to take care of yourself on an emotional level as well as on a physical level, especially if you're on a healing journey and if you're dealing with any kind of autoimmune condition. So this book is really amazing. I'm just going to go over a few things for you. The beginning of it, she starts with telling you what those 6 steps are, and I'm going to tell you briefly what they are. The first 3 steps are all about stopping doing the things that are causing the problems. And then the next 3 steps are about doing the things that will heal whatever's going on. So the first step is to remove all animal products. And so no meat, no dairy, no eggs, no animal products at all, because those are all inflammatory things, according to Dr. Goldner. The second step is to remove any oils. The only oils that you want to have are either flax oil or chia seed oil. And the only seeds that you would be having would be, again, either chia seeds or flax seeds. So removing all oils from your diet, because oils are, especially processed oils, they're very inflammatory. And then the third thing you're going to be doing is removing all processed food. And that's probably the one that's hardest for most people, reducing all processed food. So a lot of people are vegetarian and they're vegan, but they're actually eating a lot of processed food. So technically there's no animal products in there, but it doesn't look anything like what it looked like. So processed food, the simplest way to know is if you left it on your kitchen counter will it go bad? Will it start to decompose after a while? And if the answer is no, if you have something that's got a shelf life, you can eat it 6 months from now, that's a processed food. That's the simplest way. So you're mostly focusing on eating real things. Now, so you're getting rid of those 3 things. And then the 3 things that you start doing is you start having lots of vegetables. So cruciferous vegetables specifically is what she recommends. She sees those as the highest. So there's like kale and cauliflower and chard and, leafy greens, those kinds of things. You have a lot of those, and you add in step number 5 is omega-3s. You have a lot more omega-3s, and omega-3s can be found in chia seeds and in flax seeds. And you have a certain amount of that depending upon where you are in the process. And then the last thing is water. You just really raise your intake of water. So those are the 6 steps in her protocol in terms of the outer things that you're doing. Now, let's talk about the inner things, because I actually started this protocol and I didn't do the whole 9 yards. I just did what she calls hyper-nourishing, which is I focused on adding things in. I was just adding things in because I had actually gotten to the point where I was vegetarian and I got kind of sick and I didn't know why. I had really, really bad anemia. I've had anemia most of my life because I didn't know that I had a chronic digestive issue that was impacting my ability to absorb things. So even when I was eating a really great diet, I wasn't able to really absorb it. So I wasn't getting the nutrition I needed. And my iron was really low and I was really exhausted a lot of the time. And so I had gone through my own process of trying to heal. I tried a lot of different things. People said, oh, you need to start eating meat. That's going to be the answer. And I did do that for a little while and it did help in the beginning. But then I started having all these other problems because of it, because my body doesn't process it very well. It's hard to break it down, especially for my body. And my cholesterol went crazy. I mean, all kinds of problems started happening. And I just knew that I needed something else. So I started praying about it. And my best friend, within a short while after me praying about it, introduced me to Dr. Goldner. And you can listen to the rest of that interview in last week's episode where we talk about it. But it really was the answer to a prayer. And I started doing her protocol. And the way that you have a large amount of these greens in your diet is by putting them in a smoothie. If you had to eat it, you'd be eating so much of it in a day, it's probably too much. So you take it, you put it in a smoothie. 75% of it is the greens or the vegetables, and 25% of it is fruit to make it, taste good. Then you add I add flax oil to it, but you can add flaxseed or chia seed to it, and you drink that. And you drink it depending upon how much you can do. I had to start out really small with like 4 ounces, and then I moved it up to 8 ounces and got up to 16 ounces. And now I can have the whole smoothie, which is about 64 ounces, 32 in the morning, 32 in the afternoon. And it's been a lifesaver for me. My inflammation has gone down so much. And I had my blood work done and I no longer have any anemia, which is such a relief for me. And even more than that, I can actually eat vegetables. For a while, I couldn't eat them because anything with too much fiber was irritating my system. So I can now eat salads. I can eat vegetables. I can eat things that I love eating, and it makes me so happy. So I'm really grateful to Dr. Goldner. And that's why I want to make sure that you all know about her. So those are the 6 steps. And then in the part 2 of this book, she talks about the mindset and the motivation, because let's face it, most of us, when we know what to do, don't always do it. And why is that? Is because there's mindset issues. So she talks about how to get started, things that you can do, being really clear about your why, like why are you making these changes? Because if you're not really clear about why it matters to you, as soon as, it's the holiday time and people are going to be challenging you and, oh, why aren't you eating this and blah, blah, blah. If you're anything like the average person, you'll probably cave and just be like, oh, okay. But you really want to have a strong why of your healing. And then I want to read something from this book for you from chapter 5. She's got such good stuff in here about forgiveness and motivation and being grateful. I mean, it just covers everything. I actually think that this book is not just for people with autoimmune conditions. I think it's for any highly sensitive person to really help you work through some of the places where emotionally we can get a little bit stuck. But this is chapter 5, and I'm going to read some of this to you because I think this is so important. Chapter 5 is called Healing is Love. And here's how it starts. It can be frustrating and scary when you're trying to heal. Eating all these amazing plant-based foods is hard. It's different from your regular diet and your regular routine. It's good for you, but also sometimes it can make you feel gassy or bloated. You're missing out on your favorite foods and your drinks, and your cravings can be really strong. And you can no longer use food to comfort yourself on a tough day. You're doing something that many people consider weird, and often people who try to convince you not to do it tempt you to have just a little bit of what they're eating and go off plan and try to guilt you into having something that maybe they made for you that's off plan. It's really hard, and it will also likely be the most important and life-changing thing you've ever done. It can give you the life you've always wanted. It can get you back everything that illness made you lose: energy, vitality, the ability to go out with others or be in the sunlight. One of the biggest struggles I see is when people view the healing protocol as punishment. They're upset they're not getting results fast enough, not able to eat what they want, or see others succeeding when they feel like they're failing. Don't compare yourself or your healing journey to anyone else. All of those things hold you back from what you need and from the truth. The truth is healing is love. Healing is about self-love. It's about learning how to love yourself and your life right now, exactly how you are, to give yourself the serenity and peace and space for the body to heal. It takes a lot of energy and work for your cells to regenerate themselves. It's hard work for your body to create all these new anti-inflammatory immune cells, for those anti-inflammatory immune cells to get rid of the damage from disease, and for those sick cells to dump all the toxins you've been storing all this time. All that takes energy and work for your body. The last thing your body needs is a boss that's high pressure. The boss, which is you, saying, "Hey, what are you doing? You're not doing it fast enough. What's wrong with you? I don't even think you know how to do this." Trust me, your body knows what to do. You don't need to second guess its healing potential. Your body was programmed to heal. Every single cell in your body is designed to heal itself from damage. And if you are chronically ill, it means your body either doesn't have the right tools to do the repair work, or you're continuing to do things to cause continued damage. For most people I meet, it's both. The healing protocol is like doing a lot of renovation work on a house. We need to rebuild broken structures and stop creating more damage to healthy structures. If you can relate to being a negative boss when it comes to your own recovery, it's time to change your mindset. Realize the voice you hear the most is your own. If you're constantly telling yourself you can't do things, you'll make it true and likely give up. Instead, you need to talk to yourself the way that you would like to talk, the way that you would talk to anyone else who is suffering, sick, and afraid. You need to be an encouraging and loving voice. When you feel those worries go through your head, when you question yourself and your body and your ability to get what you want, remember what your body needs most right now is love and understanding from you. Say to yourself, "I love you. That's why I'm giving you the space to do this healing work. I know I've put everyone else before you in the past. I've put you last. I've poisoned you with junk food when what you needed was kale and good things because it made me feel better emotionally. I haven't taken care of you the way I should, but now I will. Now I'll give you the space and love you need to do the work you have to do to heal. I won't judge you. I won't pressure you. I won't get mad at you. I'll give you the space you need to heal. I'll give you the love and understanding and healthy foods that I haven't given you until now." Whenever I read that, it always gets me all choked up. And then she says here at the bottom of the page, "When I realized that it wasn't my body attacking me, but instead I was the one attacking my own body with cheese and soda and poor sleep, and that my body was doing everything it could to survive my constant assaults, everything changed. I realized my body was my best friend, but I had not been a true friend in return. And when I gave myself true nourishment, it quickly eliminated all the diseases I had carried around for 12 years, and I was healthy. The path to healing was becoming a nurturing, loving friend to my body. You need to do the same. You tell yourself that you can do this. Be understanding. Be kind. Breathe, meditate, listen to beautiful music, relax. Give yourself the time and love and nurturing you truly need. Your body will do the rest. It wants to. It's been waiting for years to heal for you. Healing is truly an act of love. That's so much. So, my friend, I just really wanted to share that with you because I think that Dr. Goldner understands this whole process of healing on all levels. You know, not only is she a medical doctor, but she also has a background in psychiatry as well. And so she understands the emotional part of things and that it all works together. So if you are dealing with something, I really, really hope you give yourself the gift of reading this book, whether you have an autoimmune condition or any kind of a condition. I think the healing process is the same, especially for women. We have to be willing to prioritize ourselves. We have to be willing to say, I deserve to heal. My body deserves rest. It's okay for me to let other people take care of themselves while I take care of myself. And that is not an easy thing to do. This is why I always encourage people, if you don't have the support you need in your life, please get that support. If you need physical healing, I'd say reach out to Dr. Goldner or anybody that you know that is going to support you in doing the healing journey, not only on the inside, not only on the outside, but also on the inside. Maybe you get a healing coach or whatever it is that you need, but you deserve it. And I know, because I've been working with people forever, that the universe is always moving towards healing and health and harmony. Your body is always moving towards healing and health and harmony. So if you give it what it needs, you can heal. All right, my friend, I hope that this book and this message really resonated with you. I'd love to hear your thoughts about it. Please feel free to leave me a comment. And if you know somebody who could really use to hear this message and to learn about this book, please share it with them as well. God bless you, my friend. Remember, the key to magnifying your miracles is knowing your miracle is already here. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Thank you for listening to the Magnify Your Miracles podcast. I'm so grateful to be able to spend this time with you. If you want even more inspiration, feel free to visit my website, francisfaden.com or magnifyyourmiracles.com. And if you did enjoy this episode, I would really appreciate it if you left a review on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever it is that you connect with awesome podcasts. Remember, the key to magnifying your miracles is remembering that your miracle is already here.